Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Neil and today we're going to decide whether you need a Marshall JVM 410 head or whether you can make do with a 205 JVM or a 210 JVM head. Okay, so today this video has been created to help those guys out there, which is probably you if you've clicked on this video, to decide whether you can save some money by purchasing a JVM 205 head or a 210 head, or whether you need to go out and get the JVM 410 head, which I have behind me here. The JVM 410 head is the flagship Marshall in my opinion. It covers just about every Marshall tone. It has 4 channels and each channel has 3 modes. If you're looking at buying a JVM, you will probably say to yourself, well, I could save some money by either buying the 50 watt JVM head, which is a 205, or the 100 watt 210 head, which is very similar to this head but has some features missing. Quite a while ago, when I was using the JVM 410 head live for a few years, I had a Max on 808 in front of OD1 Orange. OD1 Orange has quite a lot of mids. It's a typical Marshall high gain tone and it always cuts through the mix, and that's why I opted to use that channel live and in a band situation at rehearsal. I then moved away from the Marshall JVM and started using all kinds of different heads, and then I decided to get a JVM 410 head because one popped up on Reverb at a really good price. I wanted to see if it was as good as I remembered, and it was. However, what I found that has happened is now I'm not really in a band situation and I'm jamming here for you guys or writing my music or recording through the 2-Notes Captor X, that I now prefer OD2 to OD1, which is something that I never thought would happen. The differences between OD1 and OD2 are quite large. The EQ curve is completely different. There's a bit more gain, a bit more compression on OD2 than there is on OD1, and OD1 has a more open mid-range, high mid-range punch to it, whereas OD2 is more of a modern sounding, I don't want to use the word scoop because it's not really scoop, there's still a lot of mids there, but it's more of a flowing, smoother feel and smoother sound with a bit more low end punch and less high mids than OD1. On the Marshall JVM 205 head, which is a 50 watt version of the JVM head, there is only OD2 on there. On the Marshall JVM 210 head, again, there is only OD2 on there. Obviously, these two heads are considerably less money to purchase than the JVM 410 head. So some of you out there will be wondering whether you need OD1 or not, because if you're a metal player, a high gain player, you are going to use OD1 or OD2, oranges or reds, depending on how much gain you want. Before you go out there and buy a JVM, you need to know whether you're an OD1 guy or whether you're an OD2 guy. If you're an OD2 guy, you can afford to get the 210 head, which is still a 100 watt head, and you would save quite a bit of money. But if you like OD1, then you have no option but to opt for the 410 head. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to play straight into this Marshall head. It's going to be mic'd up here with an SM57, and I'm going to be using a Hesu 212 Vintage 30 cab. I'm going to plug in my Jackson Brandon Ellis Kelly. I'm going to first show you what OD1 Orange sounds like. I'm then going to compare it to OD2 Orange, and then I'm going to show you OD1 Red, and then I'm going to compare that to OD2 Red. Then I'm going to use both the orange channels again of OD1 and OD2, but I'm going to compare them with a boost in front, just a clean boost, a Max on 808 style boost on the floor, straight into the front. And then hopefully when you guys listen to this, you will be able to tell which channel of this head you prefer. They're both amazing channels, they both sound great, but it's really important for you to get this right before you go out there and buy a JVM head. So let's go.